So all of us has heard of this horror movie called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know, the chainsaw wielding murderous cannibal? Well, we also know it's loosely based on a true story. And this is the story of Ed Gein, the inspiration of the movie The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Born August 27th, 1906, Edward Theodore Gein, aka the Butcher of Plainsfield, a serial killer and a body snatcher. He was born in La Crosse, Wisconsin. He also had an older brother, and Ed's mother was very religious and strict. She would often preach to Ed and his brother about how immoral the outside world was, how evil drinking was, and how women are instruments of the devil. Ed's father couldn't keep a job, his mom would say, but he did own a business, and he sold the business and moved the family to a farm, a huge farm, and isolated them from other people. The only time Ed ever left the farm was to attend school. His teachers and peers would say he was quiet and a bit odd, but his mother would punish him anytime he tried to make friends. Besides all that, Ed actually did well at school, especially reading. But on April 1st, 1940, his father passed away at the age of 66 due to heart failure. So Ed and his brother would have to do odd jobs around the community to help pay for living expenses. They were labeled as reliable handymen, and Ed would often babysit for the neighbors. Ed's brother Henry started dating a woman, and he was going to move in with this woman, but he was also worried about Ed and his strange attachment to their mother. Henry would often talk bad about their mother, and Ed was shocked by it. He was almost hurt by the words, like he was attacking him, and he couldn't believe what he was saying. So on May 16th, 1944, Ed was burning marsh in his backyard, and the fire kind of got out of control, so he called the firefighters to put it out. But he also reported Henry missing, and so there was a search party that went looking in the woods, and they found Henry's body lying face up. He said he's been dead for a while. They labeled the death as heart failure since there was no other injuries, but later reported there was bruises around his head. A coroner later officially ruled it as asphyxiation, but there was no investigation and no official autopsy. Ed was also questioned about the death of Bernice Worden in 1957, and he also brought up his brother's death. So a man who studied the case of his brother's death said it could have been a case of Cain and Abel type activities to cause Henry's death. After Henry's death, Ed's mother had 2 major strokes, and she passed away on December 29th, 1945. Ed lost his only friend, his true love, and he was lost in the world. So after her death, Ed would do more odd jobs around the community, and so he could pay for the farm. But he also boarded up the places his mother would stay in the house, and he slept in a little corner room near the stairs, so it would be untouched and remain the same. Some real odd activities, if you ask me. And on November 16th, 1957, a hardware store owner named Bernice Worden disappeared. The hardware store truck was seen driving out of the back of the store earlier that morning, but there wasn't much customers that day. Until 5 p.m., Bernice's son went into the store and found the cash register open and bloodstains on the floor. Bernice's son was a deputy named Frank Worden. Frank told investigators that the evening before Bernice's disappearance, Ed was in the store and was supposed to come back the next morning for a gallon of antifreeze and a handwritten receipt. Bernice's last receipt was for that jug of antifreeze. So Ed was arrested at a store in town, and they searched Ed's farm, and what they found was truly horrific, terrible, horrifying, and disgusting. So, viewer discretion is advised. They found Warden's body decapitated and hung up and tied up and cleaned like a deer, all the organs taken out. She was shot by a .22 rifle and then mutilated after she was deceased. Terrible, terrible things. And then when they searched in Ed's house, they found human bones and fragments of bones. Skulls on bedposts. A wastebasket made of human skin. Female skulls sawed in half. Bowls made from human skulls. A corset of a female's torso, skin from waist to shoulders. Leggings made of human leg skin. Masks made from female's face skin. Mary Hogan's face mask in a paper bag. Mary Hogan's skull in a box. 9 female vulvas in a box. A belt made of human female nipples. A pair of lips on the window shade's drawstring. A lamp made of human face skin. And fingernails from females' fingers. The artifacts were photographed and then disposed of. And when questioned, Ed said from 1947 to 1952, he'd go to many graveyards at night and take body parts from newly deceased people. He also said he dug up a woman that looked like his mother, and he took the body home, tanned the skin, and made objects from it. He also admitted to stealing from other graves and led investigators to the grave. He admitted to killing 51-year-old tavern owner Mary Hogan, who went missing December 8, 1954. He made a woman's suit so he could become his mother and wear it. During questioning, Sheriff Art Sheely bashed Ed's head into a brick wall. He later died in 1968 of heart failure. Many close to him said it was from the fear and traumatized and disgust of Ed's crime, and he didn't want to have to testify in the trial, especially for assaulting Ed. Ed was also suspected of murdering Georgia Jean Weckler, Evelyn Grace Hartley, Victor Harold Travis. Ed was ruled as mentally insane and unfit to stand trial, so he was found not guilty. But they ordered Ed to be committed to a mental hospital, where he was only charged with one murder of Bernice Warden, but he also admitted to killing Mary Hogan. So, on July 26, 1984, Ed passed away from lung cancer, and all of his terrible acts and crimes were the inspiration for Leatherface of the movie franchise, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This was truly terrible and horrifying, and reading and going through it and researching it, it made me sick, and it was terrible. And I hope this never happens again. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I know some sensitive topics, but I appreciate you all coming here and being patient with me and always showing support. And if you liked it, hopefully you leave a like and subscribe, notification bells, leave a comment, tell me what I can do better. But if not, it's perfectly fine. I just hope you all always have a safe night and a great Halloween. And as always, chat, stay safe and good night.